The closing bell rings on Wall Street, and it's not been a happy start to earnings season. It's Tuesday, the 11th of October. Tonight, traders are hitting the sell button hard. US markets have just closed sharply lower. Samsung stamps out the flames from its flagship smartphone by killing off the Note 7 entirely. And the rand is left reeling as South Africa's finance minister faces corruption charges of his own. I'm Hannah Vaughan-Jones, and this is Quest Means Business. Good evening. Tonight, take a miss on earnings, add in a fall in oil prices and mix in some politics for good measure. The result, a 200-point loss for the Dow. It started before the open as aluminium giant Alcoa kicked off earnings season by failing to meet investor expectations. Well, the sell-off then continued throughout the day before pulling back slightly in the last hour of trading. Well, joining me now, Art Hogan is Director of Research and Chief Market Strategist at Wunderlich Securities. And also from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, Tim Anderson is the Managing Director at TJM Investments. Gentlemen, thanks very much to both of you for being on the programme. Tim, I want to start with you. Just give us an idea of the mood on the exchange floor then. What's been spooking investors and traders today?
Well, there's no doubt that investors are starting to get concerned about the earnings season. You mentioned Alcoa. We had a couple significant downgrades at the end of the week last Friday from Honeywell and PPG.
Yeah, everyone got their eye on the Fed as well, expecting possibly a rate rise before the end of the year. Art, over to you now. Talk us through the bigger picture here. Is politics to blame here, or is it oil? What's the bigger picture?
Yeah, a little combination of both. I think politics, Tim mentioned the biotechs, but think about the credible possibility of Hillary winning this election. Those odds seem to be increasing in her favor over the last week or so.
Putin and Russia have been accused of already playing too much of a part in the US election, presidential election. Now it seems they're also playing a part in the US economy as well. It's not yet clear whether Russia will play its part in OPEC's oil production freeze, and I guess all eyes now on Moscow.
Well, understand this. They've been part of the conversation all along. So the informal meetings have actually included Russia, and that continue to be part of the conversation. They need higher energy prices. So, anything that gets them there, whether it's a production cut or a production freeze, is going to benefit Russia. They're still very energy dependent.
Well, joining me now is Pete Paschal, who's Mashable.com's tech editor. Pete, great to have you on the programme. These sort of product recalls are not unprecedented, but nevertheless, I mean, this is undoubtedly an uphill struggle for Samsung now. What does the future look like in terms of its financial viability?
Well, it's a disaster, obviously. I mean, there's been recalls, as you said, of many products. For one, that's a very clear safety issue, a product that can actually kill you.
Civil war, seemingly, within the Republicans at the moment. How angry are Trump's core base of supporters with the Republican leadership?
Well, certainly, Hannah, they've been angry from the outset of his candidacy. That's what really has fueled his primary win over the past year and, of course, into the general election. Donald
Trump himself has suggested that there were more videos that could indeed come to light.
Yes.
What are the chances of these being leaked?
I think there are a very high probability that we're going to see some tapes of Donald Trump from some sources, whether it's The Apprentice or other interviews he's given in the past.
We know now that Brexit means Brexit, but would you prefer hard Brexit or soft Brexit?
I have to say it's all very confusing. It would be, I think, like in all businesses, we would like to have as much certainty as possible.
And that is Quest Means Business. I'm Hannah Vaughan-Jones. Thanks so much for watching. The news continues here on CNN.